Hey everyone, through this video I'm going to show you how to continue working on your Latino education and economic progress assignment. I will walk you through the examples that I already pre-filled out for you on your copy of the assignment. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the first section. So given this figure, for the first series of questions, you're going to be focusing on this section with the stacks of money. You'll notice that for the first question, I typed overall, how much money would a white individual earn? So as you're looking at the data that you already read about in the article, you're comparing median annual salaries by race, and then we'll also be looking at some graphics that break this down by sex. So here, what you should be able to see is that this lighter shade of red, as the key tells us, represents the overall median earnings of a specific race group. And then the darker shade of red represents the median earnings of a specific group based on whether they completed a bachelor's degree or higher. So first, we're focusing here on the overall category for this question. We see that the money amount is $52,000. So overall, a white individual would earn $52,000 per year, which gives us a grand total of $2,288,000 in 44 years. Again, remember, this is 44 years because we're assuming if a person starts working at about the age of 22 and they work through the approximate retiring age, that's 66 years, that's for a total of about 44 years. So given that amount, we took the 52,000, multiplied it by 44, and that gives us this grand total of what they make approximately in their lifetime. So now you're going to continue the same process for the rest of the questions. If you didn't already do so in the previous class, you would go ahead and focus here on somebody with a bachelor's degree or higher who's a white individual. So here we would look at the next category. So somebody who's white and earned a bachelor's degree or higher is at a median salary of, and here it is. Go ahead and continue the process. Write your sentence to capture what your answer is to this question, and then continue through the rest of the questions in this section. Write your reflection there about anything you learned, what you may have been surprised about, and how, if in any way this awareness of this data might influence your educational goals. That's the first part. Now in part two, as we look at the median salaries by race, sex, and educational attainment, what you're doing is you're looking for what is the low and highest value within a specific category. So if we look at the first question, white men's median annual earnings range from as low as, this would have been originally a blank that you fill in, or as you see over here, a series of number signs. So I filled in the number with 45,000 for the low, and then it says with the completion of high school or less, to as high as $80,000 with the completion of a bachelor's degree or higher. So now the question is, how do I come up with these low and high values? If we look here at white men, we're focused on this line right here. On the lower end, let me go ahead and zoom into this image to give you a better view. If I were to draw a line coming down directly from the lower level for white men, and then also coming down directly from the higher level for white men, here's what you should see. On the low end, this rectangle side drops down to pretty much exactly $45,000. So on the low end, for that median, it's $45,000. If that little rectangle would have been slightly to the right, maybe I would have said 46,000. If it were a little bit further to the right, maybe 47, 48 or so forth thousand. If it was slightly to the left of that line, I might have said 44,000. So if it's right on the line, like this one, it's safe to say 45,000 as your estimate. And then on the upper end, over here on the right side, notice this is about a third of the way from 75,000 over to the 90,000. So from 75,000 to 90,000, that's about, that is 15,000. So about a third of the way, that's about an extra 5,000. So that's why my estimate is 80,000. So that's going from the low to the high end. Repeat that process here to find what the median salaries are on the lower end and higher end for white women, black men, black women, Latino men, and Latina women. Then go ahead and write your reflection in the following 2 questions. For part 3, you're asked to calculate some rates here. So now to gather these values that I show you here for the rates. In the first question, I've already identified the starting percentage of individuals who graduated from high school for the first race group, so white, and then I've identified the ending percentage, which is 94%. So what do these represent? 89% of white students graduated in 1992. 94% of white students graduated in 2015. So to calculate the rate here, we go ahead and type 94 minus 89. That's because we take the ending percentage and subtract the starting percentage, 89. That'll be at the top of the fraction, so 94 minus 89 gives us 5%. So there was a total growth of 5% more students graduating for this race group between the years of 1992 and 2015. Now at the bottom part of the fraction, we want to know the difference in years to figure out how many total years passed. So that is 2015 coming from the ending year minus the starting year, 1992. And that's a difference of 23 years. So now we go ahead and divide these values. 5 divided by 3, you get 0.217, and then just cut it off there. Go ahead and type that in right here. And we're just going to round to the nearest tenth. So here, the number following the 0.2 is a 1, so that tells us to just stay at 0.2. So the rate would be 0.2%, meaning there were about 0.2% more whites completing high school per year between 1992 and 2015. So again, we took the 5% and broke it down across the 23 years. You'll complete the same process for the following sections. So if you're trying to find the starting percentage here for the year 2000, I'll get you started on that piece. We'll go ahead and come back up to this graphic, similar like before, and let me zoom in to draw that line that should help you visualize this. I gotta find the year 2000 and follow that straight up to the line that represents this race group, and this is the year 2000. If we follow that straight up, that's safe to say 90%. So in 2000, we're starting at 90%, and that's going up to, again, 94%, because I'm giving you the same ending year. So the data will be the same for the first and second set of rates. So right here, we'd go ahead and start with 90% and come up to 94%. So continue this process in calculating the separate rates of change for each subgroup in the rest of this section, and then go ahead and complete your reflection question here, which is, what factors do you believe can contribute to an increase in the graduation rate for any subgroup of students? So what might get that number, that percentage of students to continue to increase year by year? And then you have a final reflection section. So go ahead and answer the following set of questions to the best of your ability. A lot of these are really based on your own knowledge that you've already gained regarding post-secondary education. So education after college, after high school. So that would be possibly the college or university level education. And go ahead and again reflect on any and all of these questions through the end, so I can go ahead and get some insight regarding your awareness of college and university related topics. Please reach out with any questions, and remember to help each other out through the process.